Hey, what's going on? My name is Casey O'Brien. I'm 21. I'm from Vermont. I'm a bit drained because I just did about 30 to 45 minutes of talking. On the phone, I recorded a separate video about this. I want to say, with whatever energy I have left if I die tomorrow, that society is really messed up. People are out of touch with themselves. People don't know who they are. And
in 1 mile, keep left onto Main Street.
I've spent the past year learning and practicing and being around high-level spiritual people, leaders. I've met pretty much every one of my heroes this year. I'm somebody that has always, from a young age, pushed through, moved forward, stayed determined, fought hard, and broke free to set the stage for my own view of the world and reality and lead other people since a child. I've also been alone a long time. And I've also studied neuroscience. I've been around neuroscientists. I want to say a few things. I want to say, one, the way to cure a lot of ailments from society is by fasting, which is removing toxic brain cells and toxic cells in your body like disease, things that weigh you down. Fasting, getting in sunlight to raise yourself up and fill you up with new information.
Keep left onto Main Street.
Exercising to start doing what's called autophagy and apoptosis. Meditating in the sunlight, taking vitamins.
In 12 miles at the roundabout, take the second exit onto State Route 10 North.
And then repairing your brain with all the toxic brain cells from drugs and metals and minerals that your brain and body can't process from vegetables, from the ground. I'm talking about cancer cells. I'm talking about things that have been living in your body, diseases, mucus, keeping you from getting peak performance, keeping you from having focus. Fasting, raising yourself up, replacing those damaged cells with good cells by utilizing your fat once you fast, and exercise to get the blood flowing up to your brain. You know, the burn from exercise called lactic acid mixes with the ketones, which is your burning body fat. Put it into your brain with cold showers. And then eating seafood, which has DHA, which is a chain of fatty acids, which is what your brain is made out of, or taking omega-3s to replace the damaged brain cells and start repairing your brain. And then start doing things like reading, exercise, focus, going out there. And then eating an alkaline diet if you folk with Dr. Sebi to bring your body's electricity to the best point possible. You know, so you start to feel like a kid again. You start to have that youth, you start to have that energy all day. You start to bring your body back to what it's supposed to be. Your body's a self-cleaning machine. And then undoing society and the world's brainwashing, social media's brainwashing, by getting away from your phone, getting back into nature, staying by yourself, and raising above the people around you, and creating your own version of reality, getting back to a baseline of sanity and focus and drive, putting down all your memories that you've forgotten through ADHD, smoking weed, having low serotonin and dopamine. Getting back to yourself, raising above, waking up, getting that sunlight and energy, getting alkaline, and then setting goals, taking risks to open yourself back up to more possibilities, step into the person you want to be, leave everything behind you with that knowledge of who you are, that sense of self, that backbone. And then just keep pushing forward, don't look back. Change your habits, pay attention to these thoughts that aren't you, they're just your habits, and change them towards the person you want to be. And just stack up that time, put those reps in, and move forward. Once you get back into society, all of your friendships and relationships, the people that were around you before will change. A lot of people, like crabs in a bucket, will try to pull you back down into who you were. Try to make you fall in line again. It's up to you to stay determined and push through and dominate. That way you can lift other people up with you and they can follow behind you. That's just how it is. Your cell phone's designed to make you lose focus and forget who you are. The light from the cell phone interacts with your brain the same way sunlight does. So stay off it. Break up with your phone so you don't feel a relationship to it. Once you have this new idea of yourself and you're moving forward into who you want to be, into who you are, that grounded sense of realness, along with your idea of yourself that you're pushing forward to maintain. Keep that, meditate daily so that you can keep that idea of yourself. You're going to be alone for a while because if you're not acting towards who you want to be, you're settling for who people tell you are. If you're not, every time you make a decision not to act towards who you want to be, you're settling into who you don't want to be. Once your diet's changing, your behaviors are changing, you're working towards who you want, you're setting goals and you're opening yourself up. You've got that North Star that keeps you up, your highest truth, that keeps you from being brainwashed. You get back to being a chosen one. The next step is to get proper sleep. If you're a man, getting that testosterone while you stay in a ketogenic diet of only fats, because sugar feeds the toxic cells quicker. So you should break your fast with only fat, because fat is jet fuel compared to sugar. That's what ketosis is. It's what you're meant to be eating. And then slowly build up that Dr. Sebi alkaline diet of fresh non-GMO foods to keep your electrical system working. You use your ego to develop that sense of armor so that you can make it through society with that sense of realness. You open your heart to love. You're back in tune with nature. You're a human being. The next step, what I said about testosterone, the cholesterol from fat, from eggs, and from things like nuts, things like avocado, the cholesterol gets into your cells, gets into your bloodstream, and sunlight, vitamin D, turns that cholesterol into testosterone. If you're a man, I believe you just got to do semen retention. From my own experience, I feel like the energy, my life experiences, my memories get stored. Your whole body's made of water. I feel like when you do semen retention, you have more control over your own vibrations, over your own mindset, over your own power. You start to feel more confident in yourself over time. It feels like a knife through butter as I'm moving forward. I think, when you feel lost and defeated, having that discipline to work hard every day and to better yourself in these goal setting and taking risks and moving forward overcomes the regret and the doubt in your brain, as well as the fasting and sunlight. You can get your self-worth back. You can get your idea of yourself and your confidence. You can move forward. You don't feel trapped in a cage. Dance in your kitchen. Shit like that. Vibrate higher. Like I said, go back into your relationships and change them according to what you feel is right. Your own level of respect. You set the stage for how you're treated. What you allow is what you will continue. Be the light in the darkness, all that motivational crap. But it's true. The mindset that you create and the way that you see reality bounces off in every single interaction like water molecules with each other. Every single interaction you get with every single person you look at, everybody you see, you're either being influenced by them or you're influencing them. So once you level yourself up, it's up to you to set the stage for how you want reality to be. And that's how you rise above the bucket. And then once you're ready and you're disciplined, you can start lifting other people out. But the point is that a lot of these people have addictions, bad habits, low self-esteem, doubt, regret, self-hate, running their system, their operating system, because they didn't take the time to go on long walks, go in and remove the viruses, take time to build that knowledge of self and control, like you have. So they're just waiting to jump at you. All your family will turn. All the hopeless zombies on the street. Not a lot of people get to this level. The next thing I want to say is love, self-love, getting back in touch with nature to break free from the cell phones and the internet. Writing and reading books with the fasting so that you can get back, activate your frontal lobe and your third eye and move forward. I keep saying move forward because that's the only way to do it. The only way out is through. Once your third eye is open and you're using your frontal lobe, which looking at screens all day shuts off, not being outside, not doing multiple different types of tasks, being in public, going in the woods, doing all these things that would make you use your brain. If you don't use it, you lose it. Another thing, through evolution, we have systems in our brain designed to look for threats and, be in fear so that you can survive. It's your lizard brain. It's in the back of your head. It's designed to lie to you. You are not your thoughts. You are your decisions. You are what you do and who you affect and how you affect them. Which is why moving forward is so important. And you can't do that if your third eye isn't open. and you're not using your frontal lobe. You can't even see the future. Long walks, being in direct sunlight to get yourself back in tune with colors. Raising yourself to the highest point possible. And then doing things like writing and reading books and using your imagination in everything you do. Imagine nothing and then reverse it. Stay up, stay positive. Be the change you want to see in the world. Love everything. I'm going to talk about me for a bit. So, remember what I said? I'm going to summarize again. Fast sunlight seafood, ketosis, all fat diet, sunlight, testosterone, goals, beliefs, values, core values, memories, imagination, getting away from technology, getting back in touch with nature, getting back into the love, I want to say frequency, getting back into the love frequency. Then changing your relationships, staying determined, staying veil piercing. I want to say, like, keep your thoughts always moving forward to break out, break free, run, separate, ascend, create your reality. Stay alkaline, improve your energetic field. You need your ego, but stay humble and real. You know, stay empathetic. Don't turn into a robot. I'm gonna get into... I'm 21. When I was 18, I started smoking weed. I watched all of my best friends, all of my family members go from love, go from happiness, go from parties, go from faith, and slowly, more and more, lose their habits, themselves, their relationships, everything that they had, everything that they were, their memories. They developed dementia like most people. They lost their ability to produce serotonin on their own from weed and dopamine. They're not getting enough sleep. Their diet turned shit. They stayed on their cell phones. I watched them turn from those loving children into soulless automatons. Robots. They're not real. They're not my family and friends. I watched all of my homies and all of my loved ones die, where I was the only one left. And then I watched them all get built back from social media and society because they didn't have these answers. For the longest time, I felt like the only human left, the only real one left. Then COVID happened. People started spending time alone. People started, society got restructured. A lot of people got scared. I took that as a sign. I started believing in God more. And I took the opportunities that He gave me. And I went all across the country studying, learning from people. I've been in a lot of very tough situations my whole life. A lot of dangerous situations, and God has always been there. I've always had somebody come out of the woodworks out of nowhere and tell me exactly what I need to hear. I've stayed in mansions. I've always had a place to stay. I've never had to sleep on the street unwillingly. Someone would just come out and help. Every time I'm down, somebody comes to tell me I'm chosen and I'm special and that I need to keep going. I've learned a lot about life. I've seen a lot of things. And I've had to do most of it alone. But
In 1 mile at the roundabout, take the second exit onto State Route 10 North.
I've always been somebody that pushes through and sets the stage for others to follow behind me. I've always been a teacher and a leader, and I'm never gonna lose that until I die. I always get back up and I always keep moving forward. So I want you to trust that everything I said has been thought through thoroughly and isn't coming from me, but my past experience and people much older and much smarter than me. I've worked for churches. I've met with leaders of lots of people. This year I've met pretty much every one of my heroes, and next year I'm about to meet all of them. I've had amazing opportunities following the advice that I've given you, and I only hope that we can get to a point where toxic masculinity isn't real.
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto State Route 10 North.
Where everybody is just following themselves and happy to be alive and empathetic enough to understand when someone's down and bring them up, put them into your tribe and your groups, and that everybody's just moving forward. I'm hoping that society doesn't fall. I'm hoping that, it doesn't get to a point where it's either, robots or humans. I love everybody. I always have. As I get closer to town, I'm feeling myself lose the freedom that I had. I went on a long road trip.
Continue onto State Route 9.
I went on a long road trip to think about this.
In half a mile at the roundabout, take the second exit onto State Route 9 West.
I didn't have a lot of friends as a child. I created my friend groups. My parents were not very interactive, and they were separated. I spent a lot of time with action figures and Legos and television. Like I said, I created my friend groups.
At the roundabout, take the second exit onto State Route 9 West.
I sound like a weird kid. And I was a weird kid. But, I've always worked hard. I was in government programs most of my childhood, most of my teenage years, in and out of foster care. So I've been alone. And I've always pushed through. I've always used my knowledge and focus and imagination and optimism and willpower to lead and to create the life that I wanted. I inspired a lot of people my whole life. I've held people up. I've carried people. And I've, no cap, as crazy as I might have been, every social circle I was introduced to, I always had the best options, you know, in terms of relationships and women. I've been with amazing, incredible women. I wasn't the best person, you know. I kind of abused my power a lot. As I was a gifted, bright child, and I fell into having an ego and too much power. You know, I hurt a lot of people, and karma put me on the right path. I've had a lot of trauma in my life. I've been hurt a lot. I've been alone, like I said. So trust that I'm not delusional, and that everything I said is real. And that I really do love everybody. And I hope we make it out of this.